Getting 30 ball twice in the same year by the same team, but in the same season is diabolical, man. I think that Gino just figured them out. Gino really figured them out. And UConn, man, they just had some really good shooting games against South Carolina where they were just hitting everything. It seemed like, it was the perfect storm and the perfect game plan. But yeah, anytime a national championship game, especially when you got a chance to get your lick back, I'm thinking you come in a little bit different. But yeah, they just did not have an answer for UConn.
All right, we are ready. Let's go to teams. Who is your number one team?
Yeah, I gotta go UConn at number one, man. They're returning a lot of talent between AZ Fudd, who could have been a first round pick this year too. Her coming back really pushed them over the edge for me. Sarah Strong, KK Arnold, like they got a lot of talent coming back. They're gonna have a big target on their back as well. But if they can stay healthy, man, I got UConn potentially winning it again.
Yeah, Sarah Strong is really gonna be the it girl now that Paige Becker's gone. All right, who's your number two team this past season?
Yeah, number two, I got South Carolina. They're still in the running for a couple of players, but they just got Medina Okot, 6'6" transfer center out of Mississippi State that kind of solves their rim protection problem. You lose Malaysia Fulwiley, but you bring in Tanaya Laxton. They're still in. They got a couple of irons in the fire with a couple more transfers. So, and I want to mention that too. Like these rankings definitely could shift. But there's still a lot of names in the portal that haven't committed yet, a la Sarah Williams. This definitely could change in my opinion, just me personally. But yeah, I think South Carolina's bringing a lot. Raven Johnson coming back was big. Tessa Johnson, like they're going to have a deep roster once again for sure.
All right. Who is your number three this past season?
Yep. So 3, UCLA, man. They definitely have a lot of talent coming back next season too. It all runs through Lauren Betts. Like it's no secret. As long as she's there, they're going to be competitive. I like Angela Dugalich. I like Gabriela Jaquez. Super athletic. She also plays on the Bruins softball team. So I always salute athletes that play multiple sports, especially in college. But yeah, UCLA, man, I think it's gonna hurt them losing Janiyah Barker, but they should be right back.
And before we continue, were you surprised how UConn handled South Carolina?
Say that one more time.
I said, were you surprised how UConn handled South Carolina?
Yeah, getting 30 ball twice in the same year by the same team, but in the same season is diabolical, man. I think that Gino just figured them out. Gino really figured them out. And UConn, man, they just had some really good shooting games against South Carolina where they were just hitting everything. It seemed like, it was the perfect storm and the perfect game plan. But yeah, anytime a national championship game, especially when you got a chance to get your lick back, I'm thinking you come in a little bit different. But yeah, they just did not have an answer for UConn, man. Just the guards, those dribble handoffs had them just dazed and confused, Yeah, I was surprised.
You have number 4?
So at number 4, I got Texas. Salute to Madison Booker. And I don't want fans to feel like, I'm slighting her as the national or the Big 12, Big 10, or excuse me, let me get the conference. There's been a lot of conference moves. The SEC Player of the Year. Texas was one of the best teams in the country all year. They beat South Carolina, which is a tall task. They made it. It was a coin flip that pretty much decided the 1 seed. They won a share of that regular season title in the SEC. Something a team hadn't done with South Carolina. And I think too it goes to say with Coach Vic Schaefer and those guys, like coming into a new conference and showing that you're competing with the league's best from year one. That can't be overlooked. I think for me it kind of hurt them not being able to shoot the 3 ball, but also you land a player like Layla Falia that averaged 19 a game last season that you're thinking is going to be one of your top perimeter threats. You got Rory Harmon coming off an ACL, and she's still, trying to get back right. So with all that, I think Texas really showed a lot of moxie this year. And I'm excited to see what they do next year. Madison Booker is definitely a special talent. Between her and Kayleigh Williams, that's probably the best two mid-range assassins you got. She got some KD, a little Carmelo Anthony to her game, in my opinion, to where she's not going to blow by you, but she absolutely can get to her spot. And I love that she completely transformed her body as well, was in great shape this year. Like you could tell she was lifting over the summer, putting in work. And, man, if Vic Shaver stop all that complaining and just play ball, Texas going to be all right.
Who you got number 5?
5, I got LSU. I think that Kim Mulkey did the best that she could with that roster this year. It was a lot of Band-Aids. It was a lot of Band-Aids that went over some holes in the boat. A lot of players from LSU this year, in my opinion, got a free ride. It was a lot of pressure on Flau'jae Johnson. It was a lot of pressure on Kayleigh Williams. It was a lot of pressure on Anissa Morrow. And that big three really carried them. I think they were the most efficient big three in the country all year. They played a lot of minutes, and depth ended up hurting them in the end, man. If they had a few more bodies that could have just contributed a little bit more off the bench, like LSU had the talent to be a Final Four team. But with Flau'jae coming back, I thought that was major. With Kayleigh Williams coming back, they got the number 1 freshman class coming in next year as well. They're in the running to land Sarah Williams. So I think they have a chance to, if we redo this list in a couple of months, LSU could be at number 2. But just how they finished the season, they finished strong. They left it all out on the court. And, man, I really enjoyed watching them play.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you because we talked a little bit before this show about Flau'jae Johnson and Kayleigh Williams, and they also had Anissa Morrow. And I was pretty much going to ask you, was there any disappointment how they finished? But I feel like what you're saying is they weren't deep enough. Even though they had those three horses, they weren't that deep. Is that from what you were saying?
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely. I mean, it's tough. You got 3 players that are pretty much producing 80% of the scoring and the rebounding. And you look at these teams like at the top, like UConn, South Carolina, UCLA, like we talking, they got McDonald's All-Americans coming off the bench. They 10 deep. So when that's a lot to ask out of 3 players.
All right. Who do you got at number 6? Also, wait, real quick, Flau'jae, number 1 fan. I salute you, Morrow, the real award winner. All right, who do you got at number 6?
Number 6, I got Duke. I really am a big fan of Kara Lawson. I think she's kind of cut from the same mold as Dawn Staley, just really knows the game, played the game, one of the best point guards to come through, really has, I think, too, what stands out is like she's teaching life lessons, right? It's not just about basketball with her. Like she's preparing these players for the next level, but also not just to be professionals in the WNBA, to be professionals, doctors, lawyers, analysts, whatever. She's preparing them for life. I think she's one of those players coaches that's a big motivator, that has been there, understands what these players are going through. She pours into them. I think she teaches them a lot of good lessons too, man. Like you'll see the clips of her going viral and the messages she's pouring into these young athletes, which I think is just as important. As a coach, in my opinion, you should be a mentor too. These parents are trusting their children with you to be around you, 5-6 days out the week. So you need to be pouring something positive into these players. And that's what I like about Kara Lawson. She's building something at Duke. They've gotten better every single year. She continues to stack talent. And they won the ACC this year, man. They go in the ACC tournament. They gave South Carolina a run in that Elite 8. So I think that they're building something special. They got a lot of talent coming back next year. And I'm just a big fan of how they're building it brick by brick.
Who do you got at number 7?
Number 7, I got to go with who did I have at number 7? Oklahoma. I really like them this year too, man. I think from a talent standpoint too, just looking at what they achieved, like there's a lot of teams that could have been on this list. Carolina, I was born and raised a Carolina fan, so they're another team that I think definitely could be in this top 10. And it's rankings, they're subjected to be criticized, and everybody has their own opinion, so respect to everybody. But yeah, Oklahoma, man, I think they, for the most part of the year, they were a top 15 team. They played a really tough schedule. They did some things in the NCAA tournament as well. I love that they got Reagan Beers. Peyton Verhulst, I think, is going to be a really good pro with her size, her ability to score the basketball. They got the, arguably the number one recruit coming in next year, and Aaliyah Chavez to come in and play that point guard position. So I think the future is really bright for them. They also are in the running for a couple of top transfers as well. So when you pair that with what they have coming in the recruiting trail, they've got some really good freshmen coming in too. Oklahoma, I think, is definitely going to be a very fast-paced, high-octane offense next season.
All right, we were rounding out to the last two. If you are watching, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to Fan Rankings, subscribe to Brandon Lee _TV. Brandon, who's your number 18?
Yeah, at number 8, man, I gotta say I was kind of torn because I think originally I was thinking like Tennessee could be there. Also, man, I gotta salute even because I know this is kind of like a mix of last year and I kind of looking ahead to next year, but just specifically speaking on last year, TCU could easily be at number 6 too, above Duke, or at number 7. So I definitely want to show TCU some love as well. Just because of what they did. Coach Mark Campbell, it's crazy. They built that team from scratch pretty much, man, in the transfer portal with Haley Van Lith, who's a player that left a lot of bad taste in people's mouth with her time at LSU, man. It just didn't work out. And she really got back in her bag and built herself up back at TCU. I thought it was just a great job of her coming in, getting acclimated. I mean, she was player of the year, newcomer of the year. They won their first Big 12 title, regular season and tournament, highest AP ranking. It was a lot. They had a really good tournament run as well that came to a short end. So I definitely want to salute TCU. Tennessee was another team that I thought could be slotted right here. Coach Kim Caldwell, man, can we talk about it? She had a kid, birthed a child, and was coaching the next week. If that don't get you ready to run through a wall for your coach, man, I don't know what else gets the adrenaline pumping for you, man. But in year one, she didn't come from that Pat Summitt coaching tree. People inside Tennessee was not sure if she was the one for the job. They lose Rakia Jackson, and she completely just revamped that program, and I think they exceeded expectations. The style change, she has that if you remember when John Calipari used to have them teams that year, they had Devin Booker and all those freshmen coming in, and they were running 5 at a time hockey lineups. That's pretty much how Tennessee plays now. So seeing them establish themselves as a contender, they beat UConn, which was a major, major win anytime you beat the national champions. So that was one reason why I had them in my top 10. Okay.
All right. We are down to the last two. Right,
and then in my last two, man, I think for me, and it's kind of I wasn't sure where we were going as far as if this was more of a preview for next season, or more so of kind of recapping last year. So
last year.
Mine too, man. If we're, Texas is easily on this list. Southern Cal easily on this list as well. And my reasoning really, as far as having USC kind of lower than probably people expected, was for this season, they're definitely a top 5 team, without a doubt. USC, Kiki Ariafen, if we're talking about specifically this past season, then for sure. But looking ahead to next season as well, it's kind of looking murky, man. You know, they've lost pretty much, other than Kennedy Smith, they've lost their entire recruiting class that was #1 ranked. Juju Watkins is probably out for majority of the year. We don't know if she's even going to play next season. Kiki Riafan's in the draft. They haven't done a lot in the transfer portal. So for this past season, I definitely got them top 5. But weighing in next season too, it's kind of tough to know what the expectation is going to be there, because we don't know who's going to be there. And a lot of those players that stepped up for them this past season have hit the portal. They haven't done a lot of damage in the portal yet. Not saying that they can't, because they're still in the running for Sarah Williams as well, potentially. But yeah, man, USC definitely was one of those teams that was fun to watch. And I could say the same for Notre Dame, man. Like, they definitely are in my top 10 of teams too. If we're just talking about specifically last season and what they did, like that pretty much rounds out the top 10. And I'm shuffling these teams a little different. But if we're looking at more so what they're bringing back next year, the loss of, for Notre Dame, Sonia Citron as well as Olivia Miles, like they haven't done a lot in the transfer portal either. They lose Kate Koval as well, which was big. You know, they bring back Latu King, Hannah Hidalgo. Some people think they have a chance to land Malaysia Wiley with her being locked into the Curry brand and them being an Under Armour school. So that could dramatically change things for them as well. But yeah, man, that's another squad that I got, you know, kind of balancing it out as well, is Notre Dame too.
Okay, USC and Notre Dame. And for this past season, do you want to move USC up?
Yeah, if we're just talking about this past season, man, I'm looking at, for me, it's UConn, South Carolina, UCLA, and I'll slow down a little bit. I know I'm just kind of rattling them off to you, but yeah, it just specifically, specifically next season, man, I got UConn, South Carolina, USC, Texas, Notre Dame, Duke, LSU would probably look more like that with the top 10 this year. TCU would be in my top 10 as well. Okay. Just looking at it, like just strictly from last year, that would probably look more like my top 10.
All right. Slight technical difficulty. USC is not on this list, but I'm going to make sure I put them on here. So they will be for you this past season, they will be above LSU.
Yeah, I would put, if I'm looking at this past season, I'm putting USC right behind Texas. Right, I'm putting Notre Dame behind them. I'm probably dropping LSU to 7, putting them below Duke. Definitely moving Notre Dame up. That probably, and then I would have TCU in there instead of Oklahoma. And then,
but this past season?
Yeah, I would have TCU over Oklahoma this past season just because, you know, they're a conference champ. And they were a top 10 team for a lot of the season. So, yeah, I would have TCU just strictly off of last season if we're doing it like that. I would have TCU up there. I would probably have UNC over Tennessee, too, to be honest. Yeah, something like that.
Okay. All right, I'm definitely gonna fix this because your rankings will be a part of our end of the season video. So you have USC at 5. You have Duke over LSU. TCU is rounding out 9. It's like probably like 9, and the last team that's not on this list is what was it again? You remember? That's
about right. I think I probably have I would switch out Notre Dame, probably have them more so closer to the top, maybe actually behind LSU. I'll probably have Notre Dame at that 7 spot, and then also
they'll probably be like 8 because I'm missing USC because you had USC above Duke. So one more
So
team.
USC would be there, and then I put TCU in there too.
So it's USC and TCU. Got TCU is number 10.
Honestly, I probably put them at maybe. Honestly, man, with them, maybe 10, maybe 10. 9 or 10. Cause I mean, the thing with like it's tough. Like they made the Elite Eight, so I salute them for that. So yeah, I mean, I have no problem with them being anywhere from 8 to 10.
All right, so officially, so you want to put Tennessee last? I'll give them 9.
Yeah, honestly, man, if we just specifically with last year, if we talking them, I would probably I'm comfortable with Tennessee there. I'm comfortable with them at 10.
Tennessee at 10. Okay, all right. I'm gonna fix this after this stream, definitely, because I want to get it right for the end of the season video. All right, so I got you. Okay. All right, so thank Brandon. I know you gotta go. I know your time is valuable. Thank you so much for doing this. Your rankings are very important for our end of the season video. So I really want to thank you for that.
Definitely.
Before you go, is there anything you want to plug? Is there anything you want to say?
Yeah, man. First off, shout out to you guys over there at Fan Rankings, man. Thank you for having me. I'm happy to help up and coming creators. We all building it brick by brick. So salute to you guys. Y'all can follow me on all social media at Brandon Lee TV. Like Sunday said, my link to my page is in my in the bio for the video. Just hit 5,100 subscribers. So man, hey, thank y'all for showing love and just continuing to follow the mission.
Yo, Brandon, thank you so much for everything for these rankings. Brandon's rankings will be part of the end of the season video. My rankings will be part of the end of the season video. Again, we want your rankings to be part of the end of the season video. So go to fanrankings.com, hit the contact us page, and let me know you want to be part of the rankings. In a future live video, I'm going to do a raffle for the people who ranked. And right now, it's up for grabs. It's a $25 fanatics.com gift card. So, Brandon, again, thank you so much. Everybody at home, please like and subscribe. Subscribe to Brandon Lee _TV YouTube channel. Subscribe to me at Fan Rankings to stay in the know and tune what's going on. And guys, thank you for watching. Brandon, thank you. All right, everybody. Good night. Peace.
And if you don't like these rankings, don't be like Champ. These are your rankings, so go to fanrankings.com or click the link in the description to create your rankings so it can be included in the power rankings for the next video at the end of the season and have a great chance to win prizes.